Hello, hello. This is a really late night, unusual stream for me. I didn't really think anybody was going to be awake. I wasn't expecting to go live, but I decided, what the hell. Today was a crappy news day. Actually, you guys in Europe, and I guess it would be yesterday, but it's only like 8:30 in the evening here, so for a Tuesday, it was kind of a slow news day. And I was actually kind of busy earlier in the day, so I really wasn't able to do any streaming. So I figured, what the hell, I'll do a stream tonight before I go to bed. But I thought I'd just show off the C207 and the new. Sorry if I'm a little bit slow. It's because it's just a late night for me. But showing off the new Emo Mission, courtesy of the boys Ken Hall and Tim Harris from Orbx, a nice little freeware. And I thought I would make my way over from the Kokoda track on into the Emo Mission, and just check out a cool little bush flight, show off kind of two products at once, if you will. I'm hoping to do some live streams tomorrow, or for you guys later on today, but I didn't really think anyone was going to show up. I just figured I'd do the live stream now, as opposed to just recording it and uploading it, and then people will just watch it, sometime tomorrow whenever they get up. But cool, man. There's like a few guys up here. Panga's up. Pratt, how's it going? And Ross, what's up, man? You're up late. Well, up early actually. All right. So anyway, if there's any issue with the audio or with the video, someone just give me a heads up and let me know. But otherwise, we'll get the show on the road so I can get my show to bed. I was thinking about doing like a really low visibility flight. I actually did a flight a little bit earlier in the old Cessna Bird Dog from Sibwings, and that was a lot of fun. But since that's an old plane and this is a new plane, I figured I'd do it in the new plane. So, but with the Bird Dog, the flight that I did earlier, I think I had visibility down to like 1,000 feet, and I had all kinds of fog and stuff. So it was really kind of a challenge to fly it into that sort of fjord going into Emo Mission. It was a nice little challenge too, fun. I actually had the crosswinds up pretty high, had a little bit of turbulence going too. In fact, maybe I'll turn up a little bit of turbulence here. Let's see, weather, customize, advanced. Let's turn there. Let's put it on heavy. Let's see how that works out. That should be fun. We'll put on some heavy turbulence, make things a little bit interesting. Anyway, is the video gone out? No, I think it's fine. Oh no, the screen will turn black if I go into an internal prepared menu. Sorry about that. I should warn you guys when that happens. But no, the video should be fine. It just goes black whenever I utilize an internal menu. All right, let's close some of these doors. Yaw. Oh shoot, I forgot. There we go. Number 2. And numero uno, which is my door. There we go. Alright, so I wish I could tell you what airfield I'm at right now. I'm actually up on the Kokoda track. Even if I could tell you which airfield this is, there's no way I would be able to pronounce it properly. So I know that's horrible. But they're all good. That's my whole thing, is they're all challenging, they're all a lot of fun, but I don't know what airfield this is. But I will make it a point to bypass Kokoda on the way into Emo Mission. That way you guys will have an idea of where to go, because there is no there is an ICAO code for Emo Mission, but it's not recognized in Flight Simulator, so you can't just dial it up and go there. The only way to get there is either to fly there or to slew there, and you have to know where you're going either way. So that's kind of the nature of the PNG products. I think as these guys continue to release more of them, it's going to be a hunt. You just kind of have to find it, the good old-fashioned way, if you will. So, all right. get my track IR going here. Sorry, I know this can be dizzy sometimes. Move up on that a little bit. Ooh, and I realized my microphone was like far away. Sorry about that. It was like upside down. Hope you guys can hear me. Alright, so this is the new C207 from Alabeo, and I gotta say, it is, as always, they impress when it comes to visuals. Very nice gauge reflections there, and on the GPS unit as well. It's very nice. So, terrific looking airplane, as always. Alabeo delivers. The seats look kind of worn. Actually, the seats look almost just like the seats in the Traumahawk. It's like the same color fabric. I did a review on that one, so I realized, wow, they actually look very similar. And so I did pick the Bush version, the version without the gear fairings. So we don't need it to look pretty. It's not a very pretty plane anyway, but it is rough and tough and very good looking. It's got some nice sort of window reflections there. I don't know if you guys see kind of the way those reflections are on the window. I think that's actually a little bit new for Alabeo. I don't think I've seen something like that on previous aircraft. It looks like something relatively new. Then you get some nice dynamic shine in the direction of the sun. And so that's a C207. So this baby's actually pretty much set up, so we can go ahead and fire her up, hit that beacon light, get this show on the road. Let me that propeller kind of disappears, looking for some of that dynamic shine on the propeller. I don't really see it though. You kind of have to get the sun right in the right sort of lighting in order to see that. That sort of that nice visual enhancement. So it's a fun airplane. I actually did a lot of flights in it already. I was flying around Misha's North American airstrips with it. I stopped calling that program Volume 1 because there's not going to be another volume to it. But yeah, I did a bunch of hops in this thing, and in fact, I did. So I took off from Hobby, and then I did the three airstrips, and then flew back to Hobby. And when I was done, I was like tired. I felt like I had worked hard. I really felt like I worked hard. I was like, wow, this is a lot of work. Because I really didn't use the autopilot. It was just pretty much all hand flying the whole way through. So, doing a run up on the hill on this is probably not a good idea. Oh yeah, the brakes are not going to contain her up here. All right, let's go ahead and get in position. So yeah, it's a nice little late night lazy flying for me today. I'm actually curious to see how the C207 handles herself up here. Most of my flights in these airfields have been with the Twin Otter, which is a lot of power, obviously. And this time around, it's just the old single-engine 207. So I'm really curious to see how she's going to perform. We're about to find out. All right, if you guys are ready, let's go for it. Think she'll make it? Come on, 80. Woo! She did it. Ah, the good old Skywagon. She never lets Daddy down, does she? Ooh, let's get above these trees, though. So if you're just joining up, I'm doing kind of a late night flight, sort of a late night stream, heading out of the Kokoda track on over to Emu Mission, which is a nice little freeware just released on Orbx a couple of days ago. And a nice little freeware thank you gift from developers Tim Harris and Ken Hall. We're going to be seeing a lot more from these two fine gentlemen in the near future. I think in the South Pacific, and I think in Papua New Guinea as well. I think they're going to be delivering quite a bit more over the course of the next year or so. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely if you're a fan of bush flying, this is definitely a place to be. The thing here, though, is it can be easy to get bloody lost up here. And I'm really hoping I'm not going to get lost. Right now, I'm actually just searching for the Kokoda track, because it's all visual up here. So, and really the Kokoda track is the primary visual reference in terms of getting in and out of here. And so that's what I'm looking for right now. I actually don't see the track yet. It can be easy to get lost up here. Yeah, Ross, that was a pretty close one. I barely cleared those bushes. I wish I had a little bit more space to run off, but I mean, you look at my fuel. I mean, I could have gone like probably with 3/4 tank, and I would have gotten off the ground a lot faster. I really don't need to have a full tank, especially not for this short ride, this short flight. You can see the turn coordinator here is a little bit of turbulence, which we turned on. Alright, where's the Kokoda track here? Let's see, I really need to get to a higher elevation here. Let's go ahead and pull back. Try to climb up here a little bit. It's like I've done a lot of flights up here, so I want to like convince myself that I know where I'm going, just based on my experience up here. But I always find myself getting turned around, and I really try to fight the urge to go to the spot view and look around, because in real life you don't have that option. you've got to find your way from the virtual, or from the flight deck. So that's more or less what I'm trying to do here. Hopefully I don't get caught in those clouds going in the emo mission. I hope not. I see another airstrip off in the distance there. Not sure which one that is though. See, if I were in the Twin Otter, I would have been already at I would have been at high altitude a long time ago, and then I would be finding my way around. It's easy to get spoiled by that Twin Otter. Sometimes I have to force myself not to use it. There's 2 more airfields straight ahead, which means the Kokoda track. Actually, is that it there? Nope, that's another airfield right underneath me though. There's another one of the villages. And another airfield, yeah. Alright, so the Kokoda track is not far off here. I just need to find it. Okay, that looks like that might be it there. It's so crazy just having to navigate by looking at this little bitty trail. Yeah, I think that's the trail there. Let's see. What's my direction? Yep, so I need to turn around. A little bit higher here. Aviation Sim is awake too. Man, I didn't think this many people would be awake. I'm shocked. I think Greg is in bed. Let me see, Greg's on the East Coast, so it's 11:40. He might be in bed already. There's the track. Yeah, you guys know I usually do these streams like early, but you know, I was like, hell with it, why not? Get something in before the end of the day. There may or may not be any news tomorrow too. There's another airstrip. But I'll definitely try to get something live going on tomorrow too. I had an issue with the rudder pedals I was using and had to swap them out, and so that was kind of an issue too this week. And you can't fly without a rudder, so I had to get that issue solved. I'm like getting real tempted to go to the spot view. I want to say that is the track, but I'm not really sure. Alright, here we go. I'm going to cheat. There's like a little valley, a little break in the mountains. And that's how I know. There's like a little break going in and out. See, I don't know if this is the Kokoda track or if this is just one of the trails between the cities. But no, I think I'm going in the right direction. At least that's what I want to convince myself of. I think I am. See, we got these 3 airfields here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, the one on the far left is the one that I think we took off from, but I could be wrong. Let's see, there it is. Okay, I see it now. So that's the trail straight ahead, and then we'll follow that all the way out to Kokoda and then into Emo Mission. And I'm hoping that little waterfall is working, because I did reset the scenery library so it'll show up, which is a nice little visual feature right on the final approach. And to get into Emo Mission, just like we have to follow the Kokoda track up here, because that's pretty much the way I navigate. You can't even really use a GPS to navigate. It's really not helpful. So to get into Emo Mission, you actually just follow the river. So here it's a trail. For Emo Mission, it's a river. So really cool stuff. Just you know, true VFR navigating. There's the trail down there. Now we're on the right track. The Kokoda track. And by the way, there's a lot of history. A lot of history. A lot of stuff that even I love history, and I'm a huge World War II buff, but this was one part of the war that I was just completely ignorant on. And so during the live interview with Tim and Ken, I was really educated on the history of the Kokoda track and the lives lost, and you know, just getting a lot of intuitive insight from the developers in terms of the history that transpired here, and you know, how it related to the development process and the determinations of what would be included, what would not be included, and of course maintaining the respect just of the place overall, and maintaining a respect of the history and the countless lives that were lost. And so they really inspired me to do research, and I really started going back and looking into how the war transpired here against the Japanese, American, and Australian forces on the Kokoda track. It was quite remarkable. And so to this very day, a lot of people still make the trek, and I think the average time is about a week. I think from Kokoda all the way into these villages here, I think the trek is about a week, and it's a very dangerous trek. And a lot of people, from what I understood in my research, have been known to contract malaria, and all kinds of things happen here. And I think that I read something that there are some locals who have been known to rob tourists and all kinds of stuff. So it's not for the faint of heart, but nevertheless, very rich history here. And even more so with just this place has been known to have a lot of incidences, aviation incidences. As a matter of fact, there was a crash as recent as, I believe, a month ago. So it's a dangerous place. It's a very dangerous place. And if you go on YouTube and look at a lot of these flights flying in and out of here, it's no joke. It's no joke. So to be able to experience it in the flight simulator it's a lot of fun. It's certainly a challenge, and I think this particular product has challenged pilots on all levels, both the advanced, the intermediate, and the beginners. I think this is really a scenery that has challenged everyone. And I haven't, let's come back on the power here, I actually haven't had this much of a challenge since the Aerosoft Lookless scenery was released. And ever since then, I've been hoping for something similar. There's a track there, another village. And So yeah, Tim and Ken, they had a remarkable idea to do this, and I really appreciate it, and it's a lot of fun. But every time I enjoy the scenery, I'm reminded of the research that I did in terms of the history. So if you don't know anything about it, because I certainly did not, I highly encourage you to look it up, to look into it, because this is definitely a place very rich in history. Papua New Guinea and the Kokoda track. We'll be coming up on Kokoda. In fact, I'm thinking I might do a quick touch and go at Kokoda, just to give you sort of a benchmark in terms of where it is. So because the good thing about Kokoda is it does have an iCal code that you can start at in simulator, and I think it's Alpha Yankee Kilo Oscar. I might be wrong, but something like that. Anyway, if you have the product, then you know what it is. But if you start there, then you kind of have a benchmark. Okay, if you're going to go up the Kokoda track, you know where to start there, or if you decide you want to go to Emu Mission, then I'll give you an idea of the direction you have to head in order to intercept the river to get there. So you can see there's the track now coming off the mountain, and there's the airfield straight ahead at 12 o'clock. And I see there's a few comments there, and I'll get to you guys in a minute. I haven't gotten the TeamSpeak set sorted out yet, but I'm hoping to have that done soon. That way I don't have to keep looking over at the comments. I could just chat with you guys in real time. That'd be great. So, stunning vistas here. I really don't want to come in too hot, but my airspeed is really high. I might just fly over the airfield. I don't think I can land. I'm going too fast. But in an effort to give you a benchmark, so this is Kokoda that we're coming up on now. So if you start off at Kokoda, then you know you'll know what direction to start heading in order to make your way over to Emu Mission. And by the way, that EMO, from what I saw on the Orbx forums today, that's actually a German abbreviation, and I unfortunately I cannot tell you what it means or what it says, but I did see someone wrote up there in the Orbx forums what Emu Mission stands for. I'm still coming in way too fast. I don't think I'm going to actually put the wheels down. We'll just do kind of a low flyby, so at the very least you can see it. So this is Kokoda. And it's very nicely done. And so if we were taking off from Kokoda right now, which is more or less what we're doing, not quite a touch and go, and as you head out of Kokoda, we're now going to start making our turn. And you don't want to go too high in altitude. You actually want to stay fairly low. For me, I don't want to be any more than probably 1,500 to 2,000 feet above. At least for me, I just find that's easier in terms of finding my way up here. There's our little airfield back there. C207 is terrific from Alabeo. I think they did a great job with this one. This is a lot of fun. If you read the what aircraft is that? The Seneca V, the Piper Seneca V review, the Coronado from Andy Underwood, who runs the NZFF forums. He did a terrific review for Air Daily X on that aircraft, and he is currently underway of reviewing this very aircraft as we speak. So definitely be looking for that in the next week or so, a couple of weeks. Andy is a pilot, a bush pilot down there in New Zealand, so he obviously has to balance his time. But I think it should be a very interesting read. And where's the Kokoda track heading back up into the mountains? You can see the track down there as it starts to wind its way right back up into those mountains. Right now it looks like we're following a different road, which actually we can follow this road straight on out to intercept the river. And I don't have any of the names, I don't have any charts. I'm flying just purely, you know, from my eyeball. But the good thing here is the visual references are easy to see when you can find them. It took me a minute to find the Kokoda track after our departure, but it's findable, so that's a good thing. We did find it, and so just using these visual references and these keys like these roads here make it doable in terms of being able to find our way. And I'll try to lean over here and take a look. Oh yeah, Panga was noting my RPMs were pretty high. And Ross says it's only 10:30, he'll be up for hours. Awesome. And Matt 747, how's it going? What's the deal? And Ross is asking, is that the pedals I got to review? Yeah, you know, it's funny too, because I wrote about 85% of the review, and it's a long ass review, and the pedals just went I don't know what the hell happened. They just went total apeshit on me. I mean, I had to pull them out. So right now I'm actually flying on the old plastic Cytex. So I'm not really happy. I'm going to try to take some time and troubleshoot some more tomorrow through the rest of the week, and if it doesn't work out, you know, I'll have to see from there, because I'm actually kind of disappointed. This is the second pair of pedals. The first pair of pedals I had to send back for the very same reason, and then these were working fine for a while, and then everything just, I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I can't get them to engage. I'm having all kinds of issues, so I got a little frustrated. When I get frustrated, I have to remember to pull back. So I just yanked them out, pulled them out from underneath the setup, and then I popped in some Cytex, and so I will give an update on that and let you guys know how that goes. So yeah, once again, this is the Alabeo C207. Sorry if my flight pattern goes erratic. It's because I'm looking at the iPad, or the laptop here. So Ross, even though he said he's going to be up all night, he had to run. So thanks a lot, Ross. And November 1272 Zulu actually caught that Seneca review. Thank you very much. Always glad to see you guys reading the reviews. I know a lot of people, they show up just to get the daily news, and they don't really, you know, look at the other, you know, things or other parts of the website, which are a lot of work. So whenever I hear someone saying they read a review, I think it's just great. I mean, don't get me wrong, our reviews do really well. I mean, on average, a review will see 1,000 unique reads, you know, in a period of like, you know, like 36 hours. So, because of the different time zones. So, and then over the course of many reviews, like many of my reviews that I've written, like, you know, 2 and 3 years ago, have been read like 5,000–6,000 times. So you guys are reading them, don't get me wrong. But in comparison to the daily news, which will get, you know, 6,000 or 7,000 reads in a day. So honestly, you know, most of the you know, the visitors, they go straight to the daily news. But for those of you who do take the time to read them and visit a lot of the other parts of the site, yeah, I guess I personally appreciate that, because Air Daily Excellent was on that old Blogger blog It was really only set up for just a blog, a daily news thing, and I always wanted to turn it into something more than that, something that had a lot of different aspects to it. And so with the news site, oh, there's our river. There we go. So we're going to turn and intercept that and start following that in. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, now there's a lot of different aspects to it. So I really appreciate those who venture out and find those other parts of the website. I mean, I have people that I know personally that says, "What do you think about this aircraft or this scenery?" And it's like, well, dude, I wrote a really long ass review. And I'm like, really? Where? Send me a link. And then that, to me, that's like a smack to the face. That's a real hand to the face. I hate that, because it's like, oh my God, you oh, you're not really checking out the rest of what the site has to offer. So much appreciate you guys reading the reviews, and we try to do them differently. I always try to do my reviews differently. I've had some developers tell me, how come I don't give stars or medals, and I've never understood that. Like, what's the point of giving a review 4 or 5 stars? To me, I'd rather you read it and you're going to understand if, you know, how good the product is or isn't if you just read the words. But if you give it 4 or 5 stars, in the end, a lot of people who are just lazy are just going to want to look and see, okay, is it 5 stars? Okay, great. I don't need to read the crap. It's good, so I'll just buy it. Or is it a gold medal? Great. But if a product gets a bronze, well, what you know denotes a bronze medal? Well, naturally, people are just going to go to the summary to find out the what I like and what I don't like sections, and then again, they'll skip the whole review. And a review can take up to a month to write in some cases. So it's like, what's the point of doing all that work if half the people are just going to go in, look at the summary, look at the stars, and then make a determination? So for that reason, I don't do that. I like to just do things a little bit differently in terms of, I'll try not to lose your attention in all the letters and words, and keep things interesting and have interesting facts and stuff like that, and not have it boring. There are a lot of reviews out there that I find that are just boring, and I'll lose interest, you know. But I try to keep them interesting and fun and, you know, different. So I'm not afraid to throw in a sexual reference or foul language or something like that. You know, I like to do things a little bit differently and not conform to just typical boring journalism, if you will. And so far, they seem to have been regarded quite well. I haven't heard anything negative on a review that I've really done before. So, except recently, though, when I reviewed the MSK Mushak, the Saab MFI-17, someone left a comment saying something to the effect of, because I noted that that product was released by the first time from a developer who's never done an aircraft before. And Wilco, who's been responsible for releasing a number of products over the years, managed to release the Technum with so many bugs and errors that it's amazing that it got through quality control. So when I made that reference, I guess, you know, someone left a comment and they didn't like that reference. They thought I was just picking on Wilco, but I thought I made a valid point. But other than that, I really don't get much negative feedback on my reviews. So I continue to do them, but as we all know, I'm getting more and more into the live streams now. So one of the things you're going to start to see me start to get into is with the ADX first looks. I'm going to start to encompass these live streams because I find it's easier for me too in terms of time. So the ADX first look articles are going to start to really have the live video archive in it. And I'll add some screenshots still in about a paragraph, and I find that that's easier because you figure if I already spend an hour just, you know, showing off a video like this, you know, there's not too much more that I should have to say about it because you get to see it in real time for yourself. So as you can see, we are now following the river. And I don't know if it's a good idea in real life to fly around at this elevation down here, but I think this is sort of the way to go with this particular kind of scenery. I think it's more fun to get closer down to the deck, and because obviously you could just fly right over all these hills and just keep looking down for the airfield and then just try to circle down in and fly to it. But I think it's more fun to just follow the river on up. Alright, and it looks like my waterfall is not here. I'm actually higher than I want it to be. I'm gonna circle around real quick so you guys can get a look. Where's the waterfall? No! You know, I reset the scenery library. Are you kidding me? I got no waterfall? Okay, pause. Oh, that pisses me off. You know, that's just one of the problems with... Oh, shoot, pause. That's one of the problems with P3D. Hang on a second, because the screen's going to go black here, and I don't want you guys to have to deal with that. So, I'm going to do this real quick. I am going to... Scenery library, we're going to do it again, even though I already did it. I'm going to have to do it again. I thought that if I did it at the beginning of the flight, the waterfall would just show up, but it didn't. So I'm going to do this, and I'll circle around and come up the valley again so you guys can kind of see it the way it was kind of meant to be seen. And Jackson bought the DA-40, terrific airplane. That was reviewed by Kenneth Hall. And he and I actually were just chatting a couple hours ago. He's working on some future reviews. Kenneth Hall, actually, he's getting ready to work on a review of the Avro Anton, and he might do a comparison between the A2A and the Sim add-ons version, or is it FS add-on? The FS add-on version, excuse me. But he actually just bought today from a junkyard, from like an aircraft junkyard, an Avro Anton panel. He sent me a picture of him holding this panel that was extracted from the Avro Anton. I thought that was incredible. I'm like, oh my goodness, can I send you some money and then maybe you can like buy me some stuff that I can maybe put up in my house? So I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, so yes, I saw someone's asking about Salt Lake City. I can get into that in a minute. Let me see if the waterfall came back. Did it? Ah! Where's the waterfall? The waterfall didn't come back. Alright, well, I gotta be honest, I'm a little disappointed with that. I got it to come up earlier. It looks like it's not gonna come up now. I don't really know what to say. I'm a little disappointed though. Alright, I'm gonna turn around here. Alright, I need some power. Come on, 207, give me some power. I'm gonna turn around, come back up the river again. I hope maybe that waterfall will turn on, because it really is a very exciting little feature flying into the airport. So let me just look over here and see if that waterfall turned on, because it really is a nice little feature. It did not turn on, unfortunately. Okay, well, fudge. That pisses me off. But anyway, we're coming right off this little stream right over in here. The waterfall just drops right off that ledge, and it's a nice animation when it works. But it looks like it's just going to be a random thing where maybe it will or maybe it won't. So maybe the people in FSX won't have the problem. Maybe it's just the people in P3D. P3D still has issues with certain effects, and it's really random. Like, for example, simple effects like smoke, or simple effects like contrails and stuff like that. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It's just one of the few little things in P3D that needs to be worked out. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they don't. I mean, effects is something that's not really a big deal, and usually it's not, but this is one of those few moments when it actually sort of kind of is. So, alright, I've got to figure out how to kind of mosey this big fat thing down into that valley again without hitting a wall somewhere. Alright, this is going to be a funky maneuver, but I'm going to try and Let's see if I can turn around here. We're going to have some pretty hard right rudder. This is going to be really funky. On TV, they always used to say stuff like, do not try this at home. I guess here we say, do not try this in real life. It's okay to try it at home. In fact, we encourage you to. Ooh, that's like full right rudder. Look at that. Whoa. There we go. Well, I'm disappointed about the waterfall because that was one of the things I really wanted to show off. It looks really cool, and Ken worked really hard on that. So it's just a little disappointing that it didn't show up. I don't know why that river looks like it has a matte appearance and not reflective. I don't know, maybe it's my imagination. So this is like really low and slow, isn't it? This is bush flying at its finest. Ooh, let's get her above 80 knots, please. Just above those trees. And this is where our waterfall is supposed to be. And that's your cue that it's time to make the turn to final. But the waterfall is not coming off there. Isn't that nice though how they did that? I thought that's really nice. But there's no waterfall animation. Alright, well anyway. That's just too bad. Too bad. There's our strip. So as a reminder, this is freeware. You can pick this up from Orbx, but it is highly recommended you have FTX Global and Orbx PNG installed in order to enjoy it properly. Woo! There we go. And without it, without those other two products, you won't get the proper coverage area, so you will have a very hard time finding this place without those visual references which I talked about. I really love this 207. You know, it's funny. I like it. There are some airplanes, it's weird. There are some airplanes where I really look forward to them and then I wind up not liking them as much as I thought I would, like the Coronado TBM 850, which is one of my favorite airplanes of all time. And then there are some airplanes where I think I'm not going to really like it, and then I wind up loving it. And I think the 207 is one of those planes where I didn't think I would really like it that much, but I mean, once I got in it the first time and I started flying it around, I was like, wow, this really is a terrific airplane. I mean, I really am having a lot of fun with it. So I don't know. I guess sometimes I'm just weird that way, but the 207 is definitely one that I really like. And then there are some planes that just turn out to be far better than I ever hoped, and they blow my mind, like the Aerosoft Twin Otter. So I guess that goes without saying. Look at this great landscape that that the guys did here. Really great work. This is a nice little place, and we can just park off to the side here. So I'm gonna try to get some live streams in tomorrow. I'm thinking about doing. What am I gonna do tomorrow? I'm thinking about doing. Let's see. Let's get back in here and. Oops. Ah! Come on, click and drag it to the... How come I can't turn it off? There we go. Awesome. So there she is. I really like the vegetation. I imagine getting good imagery here is probably like next to impossible to get like really good imagery, but look at that. I like the green of the airplane and the trees and the surrounding environment. That's like a good snapshot right there. That's like the ADX title shot for the review. That's it right there. That's very nice. All right, let me just jump to any more of your comments. November 1272 Zulu says, I bookmarked your older blog about a year ago, but I'm fairly new to your site. All of the reviews of the aircraft on the aircraft review page at current releases, FSX and P3D. Well, usually when I write the reviews, I try to write which review it was done for. So like all my old FS9 reviews are still on the old blog, and actually I'm in the process of going back and adding P3D screenshots of those old sceneries and just trying to like reinvigorate them. So when at the very top of the review, like the opening line, it should say like which one it was done for. So pretty much any reviews you see right now are pretty much going to be in FSX, except for the ones that I do, which in case are P3D V2. But before prepared V2, all of my reviews are done in V1. So I've never done any reviews in FSX at all, ever. So if it wasn't in V2, then it was in V1. So a good rule of thumb is I think all of the reviews that I did this year, I think were all in V2, if I'm not mistaken. They all should have been in V2. So that should be easy, and you'll know based on the author. I mean, if it's me, then you'll know. But again, I always make it a point of writing what platform the reviews are at the very beginning of the review. And Z06 Vet, a nice car, is asking if I tried preset effects in P3 V2. Actually, I haven't. I've been chatting with the developers who actually were very kind to send it over, and the last I heard is that they're in the process of making it compatible with prepared V2, but the current version is really only for FSX. So I'm really waiting just for the native P3 V2 version. Now I know that there is a product that they did release for prepared V2, but it wasn't the Precip product. It was one of their other products. I can't remember which one it is. So the Precip effects, though, was the one that I think I'm currently waiting on right now. So I haven't tried to just install it. I don't know if it works or not. I didn't want it to screw anything up, so I just, by default, I just didn't take the risk. So and what is EMT? But no, because when I get it, I want to be able to show it off to you guys. So I honestly, I would much rather prefer it if it was just the native version. I think that's just the better way to go. So I'll just wait till they release the native version. But it does look really great with the 777 and everything that they've done in those videos and stuff. It looks really enticing. So I definitely want to get it, but I'll hold off until the proper prepared version is ready to go. So as far as me, that's pretty much it, guys. So this is Emu Mission. from the excellent guys, Ken Hall and Tim Harris. And I'm looking forward to them adding more. I know that they're working on something else in the South Pacific, which hopefully will come before the end of this year. I'm really hopeful for that. And I'm really looking forward to more of these airstrips. I am really enjoying them. And the strips on the Kokoda track are great. They're all kind of situated in a tight area, so I'm looking forward to them having more strips a little bit further out of that area, just to have nice little flights to enjoy, like you know, this one that we just did. Another interesting thing too is I actually was chatting with Graham, who is the owner and lead developer of Pacific Island Simulations, and one of the things I noted earlier in the week is that he has his own sort of Papua New Guinea bush strips and airports and stuff like that. They're not really compatible with FTX Global, and in fact it's probably better to not even try to merge them in. I mean, you can, but I did talk to Graham, and I did ask if he had any thoughts of upgrading those older sceneries, and it is something that he is planning to do, which is great news. I'm happy to hear that. But it's not going to come until after his next 3 sceneries are done, which is, I can tell you right now, the next scenery is going to be Taipei, the main city of Taipei, whichever that is. And then I'm not sure in which order, but he's also going to do Beijing. Is it Beijing? Wait, let me make sure. Yeah, Beijing, the main international airport there, and then he's also doing Salt Lake City, which someone else asked me about. So he did confirm Salt Lake City. Beijing and Taipei are all 3 airports that are on the 2014-2015 roadmap. I'm sorry, 2015-2016 roadmap. Excuse me. I don't think PacSim is going to be coming out with anything else before the end of this year, unless they surprise us. So for the 2015-2016 roadmap, those 3 products are what we can expect. So in terms of what order, I think he already said that Taipei would come next, if I'm not mistaken. So in terms of Beijing and Salt Lake City, I'm just not sure which of the 2 will come next. But another developer had approached me about Salt Lake City a couple of weeks ago because they were interested in possibly doing it, but they weren't sure what Graham's status was on it. And so Graham very vehemently, very staunchly stated it is his home airport. He is definitely in the process of doing it. He's got photography and a lot of things going for it. So Salt Lake City is definitely going to happen. It is in production, but in terms of how long it takes to do it and getting the rest of the materials and things he needs, we do not know at this time, but he is definitely doing it. So for those of you who have been waiting for quality Salt Lake City for God knows how long, you're going to get it. For those of you who have been waiting for Beijing for a long period of time, you're definitely going to get it. And PacSim is going to deliver them both in his 2015-2016 roadmap. So you figure those are 3 airports already that he's listed for the next to take us through the next 2 years, plus whatever else he hasn't announced. So big things coming from Pacific Island Simulation. So hopefully Jackson 81 234, hopefully that answered your question. And Z06 was pointing out that I did not shut it down properly. Oh, the migration tool, I see. Okay. And are you asking Zulu, or are you asking my name? My name is DeAndre. If you go into the About Us section, in fact, if you go on AirDailyX, and I'll just pull that up. Because I one of the things I've noticed lately is there are a lot of people who have not really navigated the full website. So let me just scoot over to Windows here. Alright, so if you go to the AirDailyX, and this is the new main loading screen now, and you just click enter there. And once you enter, it takes you to the flight deck page, and the flight deck page is all the latest stuff. I have to update the latest front page stuff here. I've got to get down to that, but this just tells you our latest reviews, the big stuff that was just released, and you'll find the top 4 articles, news articles here as well. So if you don't want to navigate to the daily news page, you'll always see what the top 4 news articles are here on this page as well. Latest exclusive interviews. videos, so on and so forth. And if you just take a look, if you go, and this is at the bottom of every single page, if you always make it a point to come down here and look at all these links, there's a lot of stuff here. You've got the blacklist here, which is very important, which warns you of certain products not to buy and you know, to be careful with. Also, we have the global airports map. For those who still don't know that this map exists, it's actually loading pretty slow, I guess, because of the internet, because of the broadcast, but there should be a map here. There he goes. So this map shows every major payware airport for FSX and P3D, plus all of the top freeware airports that are basically payware or near payware quality. So you can see here there's a lot of airports. So if you're looking for a new destination you want to fly to, and you want to know if there's a good quality airport for it, you can see Europe is just clobbered. But yeah, you can click on any of these products. Like here is probably Denver. What is that? Oh, that's Aerosoft Aspen. This is Denver here. And you can click on any of these airplanes. A picture should pop up. It may pop up. It may not pop up. And then there's a picture, and you click on the link, and it will take you straight over to the product page. Where you can go to buy the product and, you know, download and all that good stuff. So all that information's here. So, but anyway, scrolling back down again, and then of course there is an About AirDailyX box there. So for the guy who was asking what my name was, you can click on that, and it gives you a lot of information about Dom Mason, who founded AirDailyX. There's my ugly mugshot. A little bit of history about our background, things we do. There's me again, and a little bit of information about me. So if you didn't know my name, there it is, highlight it, and that's me in the 747 there. So anyway, yeah, a lot of information about AirDailyX and about me. So again, all you have to do is just scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see all these different things. If you want to know the system that I use to run AirDailyX and do these live streams with, it's this one here, which is the lovely Jetline Systems computer. And this is all of the components inside this particular rig. Looking forward to upgrading to the GTX 980 sometime in the near future. But and then here also we have all of the settings for prepared, all of my settings. So this gets you an idea if you're running P3D with similar settings or something. This will give you an idea when you see my frame rates, what I'm working with. So, and these are all my toys. I'm running on a Dell UltraSharp 30-inch monitor, using Track IR, Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, all that stuff. So everything is all in here, and then stuff that I'm planning on getting in the future, the Virtual Fly Yoko Yoke. As a matter of fact, they contacted me recently, and they're getting ready to send that over. Oculus Rift sooner or later. You know, I'm looking at these new ultra high definition screens, and I'm curious how Flight Simulator would look on them. So, you know, so on and so forth. So anyway, if you just scroll to the bottom, this will take you to all of the various components of AirDailyX. So I encourage you to go through and take a look at those. And the tips and tricks section I'm still working on, editorials. So a lot of stuff I'm still adding to the site. So make sure you scroll to the bottom of the page, and that should answer, I think, many of your questions. So go ahead and close that. And before I log off, to see if there's anything else for me. Let's see. And Metz is asking, he's saying he read my bio. Was I a pilot for any of those airlines? No, I was not. I wish. But no, I was not. I've had some fun for a company that I used to work for a long time ago, that 747 shot. That was actually just before pushback, as a matter of fact. Back in the day, I used to do brake riding, and I used to do aircraft taxi around the airport. So we used to taxi the aircraft from the terminal to the hangar areas or to the remote gates. So I used to do that. So the procedures of starting engine start and taxi and the whole 9 yards and ATC communications and all that stuff I used to do. But no, I didn't get to fly them. But those are some exciting times. But a lot has changed since then. We're talking about, that picture of me is actually probably, God, probably 12, almost maybe 10 years old, that shot of me there. So any flying that I get to do now is all general aviation, obviously. And as far as MaxJet goes, I did fly with an airline called MaxJet, and I was a flight attendant for that airline. So I did get to fly with MaxJet, and that was a lot of fun too. So long time ago. So yeah, Mets, I think you mentioned you're a lead in Burbank, and I think I set you up with a developer who's working on Burbank. So hopefully you guys got that worked out. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. So I didn't really think anybody was going to show up today because it's a late night flight. Oh, look at this guy waving his hands at this woman here. What do you think he's talking about? Huh. He's having an interesting conversation, isn't he?
I told you, I want to fly on the C207, but instead you brought me the Twin Otter. So now they're both sitting there and there is no pilot, so now I'm stuck here talking to you, waving my hands in your face, just like this. Don't even say a word.
I don't know. Anyway, sometimes Orbx people flow is so hilarious. If you ever look at Elstree, which was done by Russ White, there's this guy in the control tower there, and he's waving his arms like he's pissed off, like there's something going on. And so it's just funny to try to figure out what the heck these guys are going on about because they look so pissed off. But anyway, all right, guys. JetFA says he caught her cheating. So anyway, be sure to tune in tomorrow. I'm definitely going to do some streams tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm probably going to do JV Tisky's what is that doggone airport? Moscow Shemiratovo, whatever. I don't know how you pronounce it. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I might do Moscow Demodidovo as well. Try to add that in there, and I might do the Estonia Tallinn. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I might try to jam all three of those into a stream tomorrow. So we'll see, and then I might try to take a look at Kuala Lumpur as well. We'll see how it goes. Depending on my time tomorrow. But anyway, guys, I gotta run. So thanks again for showing up. Again, I didn't think anyone was going to show up because it was so late, and I figured I would just do this stream for people to wake up and catch the archive tomorrow. So you guys are really awesome for always showing up, and I enjoy chatting. And sooner or later, we will get a TeamSpeak going, so that way you guys can all come and chat, and I can get to know some of you guys too. But anyway, until next time, fly safely. And hopefully I'll get to see some of you guys tomorrow. Or actually, for you guys in Europe, that'll be later on today. So later on today, probably, let me see, 10, like in the afternoon for you guys, like around 5, 6 o'clock or something. If you live like in the UK or France, like 5, 6 o'clock-ish, something like that, late afternoon. So we'll see. But if you want a more specific time, I'll probably do my stream... around 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, so I'll let you do the math in terms of your local time zone. So about between 8:30, probably 9 a.m. So let's say probably 9 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time is probably when I'll start tomorrow. So I'll let you guys do the time conversions. All right, so till then, glad to hang out with you guys, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one.